EFL TV, proudly brought to you by Ferntree Gully Motor Group. Good afternoon and welcome to the EFL Agenda for another week. I'm Braden, Ingram. I'm joined by Ray Baird. Good afternoon to you, Ray.
Good afternoon, Braden, on a very cold afternoon.
Yeah, I tell you what, the middle of winter now we're certainly in, and that means we're getting closer to finals. We're 7 games away from the finals, 7 crucial games. Today we're going to go through each ladder in each division. We're going to chat about the teams that are still in contention and those ones who are maybe not so lucky. But first, I just want to mention a game on the weekend, Ray. It was Noble Park in South Croydon, Shaver Bull Day for the Leukemia Foundation. You've got to admire the EFL community sometimes. They all got around, they all got down there, and a sensational amount of money put in towards the Leukemia Foundation.
Yeah, it was a great day for Noble Park, Shaver Bull Day. First of all, they won the game. They knocked off South Croydon, who were above them on the ladder. But gee, the night, Dyson Baker and myself went down there on Saturday night, and look, there was the whole community of the Eastern Football League. There was players from Balwyn and all these other clubs. South Croydon Football Club made a donation, and then after the game, their players also took around the hat. And look, it wasn't only South Croydon; it was right across the Eastern Football League, and it's just a terrific thing to see local football and the way that people hold Craig Anderson in awe. He's been a great player, double Chandler medalist, and he's well respected in the Eastern Football League.
Certainly good to see the EFL community getting around its members in times of need. Now as I mentioned, we're gonna talk about the ladders. We'll start off with Division 1, of course, Ray, and well, as you can see on the ladder there's some teams that there's a bit of a logjam, isn't there, I think, Ray? I mean, you've got Norwood sitting 3 wins clear, and then followed by Balwyn, and then 3 teams on 7 wins. We just spoke about Noble Park. You've told me they can't make it. You think they're gone?
I think Noble Park are they're a game and a half outside.
Yep.
And look, with only 7 rounds to go, I think that they will win a lot of games at the Bull Ring that they still have to play. But I just feel that the sides above them will win enough games to keep them out. You have to win those early games in the year to play finals, and unfortunately Noble Park didn't do that.
Yeah, look, I think we can't rule them out just yet for me, especially the last round of the year. It's Noble and South Croydon, I believe it is. So that game could just decide who sneaks into that last position. I think looking at that 5, Norwood, Balwyn, Vermont, Blackburn, Montrose, does that freeze for you? Is that done, or do you think maybe Rove will find a way in?
No, I think that Rove or even South Croydon can still get in there. Look, it's very open. That last spot, I think 3 sides can play there. And not only that, we look at the top 3 sides. Vermont at the moment sitting in 3rd, Blackburn 4th. I mean, that can even change too. We could find Vermont up there in 2nd spot by the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Balwyn's certainly not safe. I mean, just got over the line against Montrose on the weekend, so there's still plenty of room to move in the Division 1 ladder. Division 2 time now, Ray, and it's a division that you've described as the tightest in the league at the moment. It's certainly the case when you look into the mid-tier of the ladder. Looking at the top, well, there's 2 outstanding teams sitting on top. North Ringwood followed by Croydon. North Ringwood, they got a really important win. They were down by a significant margin, about 20 points at 3-quarter time. They more than doubled their score in the last quarter. Found a way to get a 1-point win over Doncaster, and it just keeps them ahead in terms of percentage over Croydon, which could be important come the end of the year.
Yeah, look, those 2 teams at the top of the ladder there, to me, they're 5 to 10% better than the rest of the competition. But what a great win for Mulgrave last week. They really consolidated, to me, a finals position. They're going to finish up in 3rd position. I have no doubt about that. But then who finishes in 4th? You've got Mirrabbark, Doncaster, and don't write Doncaster off either, because if they can get on a bit of a roll, they can come home. They play most of the bottom sides towards the end of the season. So, look, I'm not prepared to put a line through Doncaster, but and even Waverley Blues, gee, if they could get on a roll. We've seen them play some good football this year. So, at this stage, I'm just prepared to say Bayswater and East Burwood can't play finals. I'll leave
really
the rest
going out on a limb there, aren't you?
I am, and I'll leave the rest till round 16 or 17.
For me, the one side that just worries me is probably Doncaster East. Their low percentage sitting at 89. They've got a fair bit to make up, and it's going to become crucial when you've got a side like Mulgrave sitting on 109 and Moorbark sitting on 105%. So, look, they need to win a few more games, Doncaster East, with a handy margin. They've got the bye this week, so they've got a few weeks off, given we've got the gap for the state game, so they'll do all right there. They'll certainly rest up. Following that, then they've got a tough game against Croydon, so it's hard for them at the moment to see them sneaking in.
Yeah, look, they're the team that to me looks like the one that certainly will miss out. But you never know with Doncaster East. As I said, they got on a roll a few weeks ago. They won 2 or 3 in a row there, and they put themselves back into the 4. So we'll just wait and see.
And you mentioned Bayswater and East Burwood, crucial game this week because no one wants to finish that bottom spot, and Bayswater have been alright without being convincing. So if East Burwood's ever had a good chance to get another win, and here it is.
Well, they got a chance to get another win, but looking at their form over the season, Braden, you can't pick them to beat Bayswater because Bayswater, they've been pretty good in some of their games in recent times, but they just haven't got over the line.
Ray, it was the radio game on the weekend. South Belgrave taking on Baronia up there, up in the mountains. And, well, it was a crucial game for the formation of the top 5 in Division 3. South Belgrave got over the line, a huge win. It keeps them 1 game clear of the Charging Basin. The Basin, they've won their last 3 games, albeit against lower opponents. They've done the job. I was at that game against Heatham, and I'll tell you what, they didn't deserve to win. They really didn't. They got out of jail, found a way to a 4-point victory. Keeps them within now 1 game of South Belgrave. And looking at the ladder, that's probably, you got to draw a line under 6, don't you now?
Yeah, I think there's 6 teams fighting out for 5 positions. Look, Ringwood, they're half a game further back. Look, a small chance, but they're not. To me, they're not playing good enough football at the moment to bridge that gap. And I just think that it's going to get down to later on in the year when some of these sides clash against each other. These top sides, South Belgrave at the moment, they're looking good, but the Basin, as you said, they didn't deserve to win last week, but they win those games, the Basin, don't they?
Mitcham, Templestowe and Baronia are Ringwood's next 3 matches, so it's really hard for them to probably see them winning any of those games, which makes it tough from there.
Yeah. Look, you have to give them a chance to win some of those games. I mean, they've had some pretty good form over the season. They've dropped away in the last 2 weeks. A lucky 1-point win there against Heathmont. Then they got defeated on Saturday. So look, they've got to get back on track, or otherwise they could find themselves falling out. But to me, I think that the final 5 is settled. The Basin with a chance of putting South Belgrave out.
Yeah, it's the next 2 weeks that prove crucial in that fight for 5th spot. This week, the Basin, they travel out to Kings Park, take on Upper Gully. South Belgrave, they travel to Templestowe. That's a tough task. And then you look next week, it's a mouth-watering clash. The Basin travelling up the mountain to take on South Belgrave. The Basin have won their last 5, so the next couple of weeks in Division 3 are going to prove crucial for that fight for 5th position. Finally to Division 4 now, Ray, and you were out at a big game and an important game. It was Park Orchards and Forest Hill, and Forest Hill, they came out charging in the first quarter, and in a really exciting game, they got over the line against Park Orchards.
Look, it was a huge game.
Last but not least, it's Division 4 time, and you can certainly draw a line under 5th position in Division 4. There's 5 teams fighting it out for 4 positions. At the moment, it sits Warrandyte, Park Orchards, Sylvan, Forest Hill and Ferntree Gully, and then back before that there's 3, Kills Eastern Lions sit 3 games under that, so you can rule a line under 5th position. Ray, Forest Hill, Ferntree Gully, we saw the charge that Forest Hill made last year, so they're certainly riding up to their necks for that 4th spot.
Yeah, look, to me, the top 3 are locked in. Warrandyte, Park Orchards and Sylvan. Maybe not in that order, but they're certainly locked in for the top 3 spots. Forest Hill, as you said, they come from nowhere last season in this position, but that was last season. This year, they're threatened by Ferntree Gully. There's only a game difference. So, look, every week I think that 4th and 5th position is going to change on the ladder. Who's going to be there after round 18? It's hard to say. Look, I would probably have a slight preference towards Forest Hill looking at their draw, but they've both got some easy games, but they've both got some tough games as well.
Huge win for Sylvan over Park Orchards, a 2-goal win on the weekends. It gives Sylvan a 2-game buffer now inside that top 4. Ray, what does that tell you about Park Orchards? For me, I'm just a little bit worried they could be slipping behind, or is it just, look, they come up against a better opposition on the day?
No, look, they've certainly fallen away in the last 3 or 4 weeks there. The day I saw them out against Forest Hill at Park Orchards, to me they were caught out because to me they were a little bit short down back. Now, Warrandyte, they're a very good side, sitting on top of the ladder. Sylvan, Well, I think Sylvan will win the premiership. I said that pre-season, and I have no reason to change that. Park Orchards, they're still an inexperienced side. I just think that they're maybe 1 or 2 years away from winning a premiership.
Just when we think a team may have a bit of a stranglehold on Division 4, they seem to go down. Park Orchards is one of those sides. Warrandyte now sitting atop Division 4, and they've got another tough game this week. They travel to Forest Hill, and if Forest Hill really want to establish themselves and to throw themselves amongst the order, big chance for them to cause some chaos in Division 4A.
Yeah, look, and also I like Sylvan. After being defeated by Warrandyte in that game where Glenn Archer and Campbell Brown played, you can't get a true fix on Sylvan's ability that day because they were completely shut out of that game. But they bounced back last week with a good win. And look, to me, Sylvan, they look the real deal.
Well, Ray, that does us here for the agenda for another week. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, Braden.
Looking forward to a cracking radio game this week. It's going to be out at Croydon. It's Croydon hosting Doncaster. Make sure you get a week off, Ray, which is very nice.
I'm having Saturday after off. I will be on EFL Sunday, but I'm having Saturday off.
Of course, we'll enjoy a few beers for us, mate. It's going to be a cracking game. Make sure you tune in on 98.1 Radio Eastern or streaming online at efl.org.au. And as always, get on Twitter. All the scores will be there. But for now, we'll see you next week.
Pick that to bits.
All good. Who does...